Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to the webinar this morning on Infor ION BI, the starter pack that has been developed by Professional Advantage. My name's Mark Hawthorne. I'll be the main presenter today, and Sahan will be our product specialist who will actually be demonstrating the solution. Just a couple of admin features, functions. Today everyone is actually on mute, so you don't actually have the opportunity to speak or ask questions, but we do have the chat facility on the right hand side of the GoToMeeting icon there, so please feel free to type in any questions as we go through this webinar, and we'll more than likely address those questions towards the end of the session. And of course, we're going to be recording this session so that potentially, if you did want to share it with other members of your team, then we'll make that available to you. So quickly going ahead, I have created a little agenda just to give us some structure for today. For those people that aren't aware of what the ION BI solution is, I'll talk a little bit about that. Obviously, the main reason why we're here is to understand this starter pack from Professional Advantage. We have developed a starter pack using the ION BI footprint. Talk a little bit about the customers that use it. We'll have a product demonstration of a live environment and a bit of Q&A, and of course the great question that everyone will want to know: how much does it cost and what is the effort involved in implementation? So we'll finish off with that. The first thing that I always like to show is a slide that talks a little bit about what the technology actually is. When we start talking from a budgeting forecasting perception, we have got a whole bunch of different people involved in the budgeting or who own certain budgets. So in the Infor technology, what that allows is that everyone can access it at the same time. And quite simply, that means that as everyone is entering data into the budget, by definition it is automatically consolidating, and of course just eliminates all of the errors and security controls inherent in a Microsoft Excel model. When people design or start using the budgeting and forecasting, they then come down and start using it for all of the other capabilities of the toolset. So you can do all of your KPIs in here, scorecards, dashboards. We can design workflows so that people do certain activities inside of the reporting budgeting environment, any type of financial reporting, and any kind of ad hoc analysis. And that's why it becomes quite easy for, I suppose, to complete so many different activities. Another way of looking at this is that your users will interact with these models with the user interface of choice, and this is only depending on the style of user they are, where they are in the organisation, and what kind of level of sophistication they want. So as you can see, we can use the handheld, the typical client user environment that Sahan's going to present today. We've got an Excel environment. It's obviously available in the web like most things today, and available in SharePoint for you. The thing is that even though these are all different user interfaces, everyone will have the same experience looking at the same set of data with the same set of business rules and structures, so that we can not only get data from Sun systems, which is the most obvious one for the people on this particular webinar, but I can actually grab any data from any system that I like. And I can actually put it in here. Once I've got it in the single source of truth, I design it the way in which my business needs actually come about. Okay, so that becomes quite nice for people. And then, of course, once we've got these user interfaces, we can design it to anything we like. So we can have different widgets, different dashboards. You can see down the bottom here we can have alerting and messages, so that the system actually does the intelligence for us, so that when people come up to that home page, it's actually relevant information that is hitting them very quickly. We can do the top 10 and bottom 10 of any kind of analysis, whether it's products, whether it's revenue, streams. Once again, Sahan will show a top 5 kind of widgets and stuff in his dashboard. And we can actually control statuses so that we can actually see if people have done certain parts of their budget and at what stage they're at. Once again, these stages and statuses are all user defined, and really the data entry structures for our budget owners or budget managers is very, very flexible and has a lot of different look and feels. So that comes to the key point of what we've done in the starter pack at Professional Advantage is that we've designed a framework which hooks into the Sun Systems ledger straight up. So we grab all of the chart of accounts and analysis codes logic that is in Sun and we connect it to this starter pack. So therefore you get the opportunity to do budget entry straight away into the P&L according to your chart of account and T-code structures, and of course your balance sheet. There is some different type of analysis so that people can actually analyse their budget status and reporting during the year. There's a whole bunch of standard reports that are in there, P&L, balance sheet, some trend analysis, some ABC, some variance and some sites, which is T-code analysis. We've also got some data wizards now. Sahan will probably only have a chance to show one individual data wizard, and it's the copy wizard, and I'll let him explain that when he gets in there. But what these wizards do is actually eliminate any of the complexities associated with grabbing data from Sun or grabbing data and manipulating it. So it's very handy for grabbing actuals from last year, raising it by 5% as a part of a function, and all of that kind of analysis to allow us to do either top-down adjustments or bottom-up if we want zero-based budgeting. They're all managed very well and very seamlessly with the data wizards. We've also got, as a part of that administration, the budget access, so that obviously at certain stages in your workflow through the budget, you do not want certain people doing certain things, and that is what we have in the administration console for budget access. And also there's going to be that classic situation whereby you've created a new chart of account or you've created a new T-code. Well, the administration screen will actually show you if you've actually matched or mapped that to the budget structures. And to give people a taste for the dashboard or the scorecard and KPI environment, there are actually 12 widgets that we ship with the starter pack as well. Once again, Sahan will probably show you about four or six of those today, just to get us rolling. So this leads us on to the fact of who uses the Infor ION BI toolkit. Well, there are a lot of different organisations that are using it. Here's just a snapshot that I've pulled together on here. And I think what's important to realise is that while they are Sun Systems customers, they all look at their budgeting in a very different and unique manner. And even though we ship you with the starter pack, over time your requirements are going to change, and of course we can update that starter pack. We can adapt it to, I suppose, the stage at where you are at with your evolution of your budget process and automate those things accordingly. Okay. Keeping in mind that not all people start their ION BI journey with budgeting forecasting. Some people start from a reporting activity. Okay, so that's no problem at all. So if you wanted to actually get web reports out to the community in a easy, navigatable way, I'd be thoroughly recommending the Infor ION BI footprint for you. Okay, so that was just my quick introduction. Now I'd like to hand over to Sahan, who's going to go through the product demonstration. Now we've got a very straightforward script here. What Sahan's going to do is go into the dashboards, interact with those dashboards a little bit so you get the feel of how you can design those. and give you a feel for the widgets that are in there. It's going to go in and use the data wizards and actually do a P&L budget entry for you, just so that you can get a feel for that standard template, that P&L template. Navigate through a few reports and analyse some of the data after budget, so that, you know, as we're actually building up the budget, it's nice to analyse where we are before we finalise that budget. So some of those widgets will be actually quite helpful from not only the budget build process, but obviously what we have to do during the year as far as report and analyse. So just let me grab my screen here, and I'm going to change it over to Sahan. And when Sahan's finished, I will come back in and go through and answer some of your questions. Over to you, Sahan.
Good morning, guys. I hope everyone can see my screen. I will start with the dashboards. Mark mentioned that we can use this dashboard to drag and drop widgets, and you can organize your own dashboard. So let's first log on to the Infor ION dashboards, and this is something that we've created. This comes with, like, I think about 10 to 12 widgets, but what you will see initially is about 4 of them, and then I'll demonstrate how to drag more widgets onto the screen. So that's the dashboard, and as you can see, there are 4 charts there at the moment, and configuring this one is quite easy. You can go to the edit mode. As you can see that when you move your mouse over a chart, that they can be moved, or they can be dragged onto another place on top of another chart, things like that. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to add a new chart. So let's say I will drag actuals. Sorry, I will drag maybe this one. So then I can maximize that. So as you can see that you can drag any chart and you can reposition that. You can move things around, and once you're done, then you can pretty much save that. And also there are, on this top section, you've got the filters, and you can change the year, you can change the business unit. For example, if I change the year, let's say I change it to 2011-12 financial year, that will reload this chart. So you can see there's some animation as well. So you can see what percentages are there. So I think it's a pretty good tool. And we have some filters up here as well. So you can change it from expense to revenue, or on a different graph, you can change it from entity to a cost center, location. So you can change your T code, your dimension, yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that's dashboards. The next thing I'm going to show you is Application Studio. So let's just quickly go there. So this is like the main portal that you'll be using for your budgeting and reporting. And I will jump to one of the entry screens. And as you can see on the top of the screen, you have a number of filters or T codes or dimensions, and you can change it to something else. You might have different hierarchies. So you can create these hierarchies, and it's quite easy. You can configure that. So as you can see, you can group all your New South Wales locations into one hierarchy, and the other states as well. And then bottom part of the screen, as you can see, it's a P&L. On the left-hand side, you can see all your accounts. You can expand that to the account level, and the next column you see all your actuals. You can change it to a different year, your budget version. And in this case, I have selected budget draft 1. So what I'm going to show you is, now at the moment it's all empty. We can copy from one version to another. So if I quickly show you that, this tool is called Office Plus, and we have created a number of wizards such as importing, dimensions, values, and it can be some systems, it can be some other financial database, and you can import from an Excel file. You can copy between versions, you can create the opening balance, like if you are doing balance sheet budgeting, you can import the opening balance from your financial system. You can create a forecast, and then finally you can export it back to some systems. So I'm going to show you just copy wizard today. So if I click on that, it's quite simple. It's just copying from one version and a year to another. So in this case, I've selected actuals, and I will select 2013, and I'm going to copy that to budget draft 1 for 2014 budget. So, and it runs quite fast, and we are talking about like 50,000 records here, and it runs in like few seconds. So it's really fast. So I'll let it run. So that's completed, and if I go back to my budget and if I refresh this screen, you can see what I copied. So I basically copied what's in the left-hand side onto the budget draft 1. So it's the same as your actuals for 2013. So the next thing is we have this tool called Splasher. So Splash allows you to, like, increase your budget by a certain percentage. You can copy it like another version. So there are a number of functions, number of features available with Splasher. So I'm going to show you this one of these Splasher functions that, let's say, raised by percentage. I want to raise this revenue by 10%. So selected raised by percentage. So these are the other functions or other commands available, and raise it by 10%. And click Start. So as you can see, this revenue account was increased or raised by 10%. I'll just close Splasher for a minute and show you that you can click on any cell. You can type in whatever you want because it's an entry screen. For example, let's say I make it 0. I type 0 and click Enter. So as you can see, it's empty now. Let's say I want to make this revenue account like my, let's say, actuals 2013 or 2012, something like that. So let's say I click on Splasher again. I say like. So let's say I want the value like 100,000 in there, but I want to make it like this version scenario is actuals 2012 maybe, and click Start. So as you can see, it changed the values. It added 100,000 for the full year, but the distribution is the same as actuals for 2012. So it's a very powerful feature that comes with Infor BI, and there are a number of things you can do with it. Let's jump to some of the reports that we created. So I'll go to the home page again. I'll just go to some of these reports. Let's pick one of them. Let's select 2011 and 2013 here, maybe actuals as well, so you can see something there. Yeah, so these are some of the graphs that we created. It's very easy to configure this. You can change the colors, you can change the formatting. It's quite easy to do that. So that shows you the year-to-date revenue, expenses, and few other things. And as you can see on the top section again, you can select whatever cost center you want, or project, location. So you can easily filter this chart. Let's see another one. Now this one is like a drag and drop one. So on this report you can see all cost centers, and it shows you all months, or you can collapse that to show just the full year. And if you want, you can drag and drop something else there. That's the locations. So now you can see your figures by location, and same applies to anything else up here. So basically, all your T codes up there, you can drag and drop it onto this table, and it will show you your amounts by that T code. What else do we have? We got ABC analysis. I just quickly go through this. So it's another report. You can adjust your percentages, and it shows you the top entities down here as well. So again, you can change your selections from here. You can select something else, and you can do it like you can analyze by location or whatever T code that's up here. Yeah, so what else have we got? We got variance analysis, and it's again something like a comparative report. And as you can see, this can be by month, it can be YTD, a quarter. So you can do it for just 1 month. Let's say June. That shows it just for that 1 month. You can compare it between these two versions and years. And it shows you the variance. So I think it's a pretty good handy graph. So, and there are a few other charts that comes with this package. Site analysis, I'll just show you a couple of them. Now you can select, where you are. At the moment it's just a ledger cube, and then let's say you go to one of these graphs. And again, this is drag and drop. You can drag something else down here. You can switch between these, and it will show you that for 12 months time series analysis. I will show you one more. You can, let's say, trend analysis. So this shows you trend for 12 months. And again, I can drop any of these things down here or here. And then you can analyze by that dimension. So Mark, I think I covered all of it. Have I missed anything?
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sahan. Just a couple of summary points there before you get off the screen. Can you go to that home page of the, just there for a second. So just reiterating what I first showed in my first couple of slides there, you can see that we have, as a starter pack, we believe that, as you saw, the data entry at the P&L is quick and easy for us to do and deliver, so that your managers or budget owners can actually start entering in at the P&L level. What didn't show you was the other ones where we can actually do it at the balance sheet level as well. Once again, moving in a very similar fashion to the chart of account and T codes of what you've got set up in Sun, and A codes if you're in that analysis. There's just probably one thing, Sahan, just before I take over. Can you just show me the version control screen?
Yeah.
Just quickly. Now, in the version control screen, this is quite a nice one whereby I can actually shut down certain budget elements, certain months, and this actually provides me that wonderful, I suppose, if I'm in the Excel environment, this is a very laborious task. How I manage this is any number of, waiting for the email to come back as an Excel workbook and then putting it onto another directory and then having to do a secondary process of consolidation. This one screen takes away all of that time-consuming effort. So as simple as that may look on the screen, it is actually doing a wonderful job in the background as far as controlling multiple access. And that's the other beauty about this starter pack. I can get all my users, all my budget owners into the budgeting environment extremely quickly, get them familiar with the capabilities of the tool, and of course then plan for what might be the next potential steps of fine-tuning it. Thanks, Sahan. Can you just change the screen over to me? Okay, so that was Sahan going through the product things. I've only got a couple more slides and we'll finish up. Please, in the next couple of seconds, let's just think about some questions that you may have. If you could just use the chat facility there, my colleagues will actually forward me the questions. I'll probably make one up right here, right now, and that is the I just wanted to reiterate the licensing impact here, and that is people that have Sun Systems, more importantly, people that have Sun Systems EXFM. Now, if the EXFM acronym is new to you, then I really recommend you call Fraser after this, and we'll have an account manager actually talk you through what your status is with the EXFM licensing. But generally speaking, if you have 8 users of EXFM, then you have 8 users who can access this budgeting starter pack, or the starter pack from Professional Advantage for Infor ION BI. Okay, so that I think is a wonderful selling point for your team. And of course, more licenses required. Well, then we that's just a case-by-case process that we'd have to go through. If there's no other questions, what I'll end up doing is let's just go to the implementation of this solution and where we're at and what we believe would be the way to go forward. How it's done is that you should budget for 5 days worth of consulting. Of course, the consulting will be a mixture of installation on your network, a bit of a planning and agenda setting and timetable management. Of course, you're going to be trained on the solution. There will be a little bit of tweaking per site. Some people will have structures that might need updating with their T codes or their A codes or chart of accounts. So we may need to help you a little bit with that, to tweak that. And of course, we need to test it. So we will sit with you as you test that budget and walk through that with you. And of course, we can offer some go-live assistance. So, of course, the hours are going to split up depending on the areas of focus for the individual customer. But roughly speaking, we think that we could implement that starter pack in under 5 days. To be fair, we're just trying to be a bit conservative and kind of look at the place that we think most people will be at. Okay, well, look, that was all that we were going to go through today with the starter pack for Infor ION BI. Thank you all very much for attending. Please be aware that if there's any outstanding questions from today's webinar, I'd really like you to take Fraser Moore's details on the screen there. Write those down, email him any questions you've had from today or any challenges, even any feedback would be quite nice if this was relevant for you and the like. And of course, Fraser would be best positioned to tell you who your account manager is or the person that can best help you in getting you started into this Infor ION Starter Pack. Once again, thank you all very much for attending, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you again. Bye.